morning, everyone, and welcome to a coffee break with Encompass Solutions, where we try to take 15 minutes to show you some of the latest features and tricks of Epicor ERP. So today's topic is Epicor Mobile Access 2.0, which was part of the latest Epicor 10.1 release. For the conversation today, I would like to first take you through some of the highlights and feature changes that have been developed as part of Epicor 2.0 and why you might want to take advantage of them as an Epicor administrator or user. We'll then go into the product itself and see it in action. We're going to look at some of the dashboards that have been built on EMA 2.0 so you can actually see the enhancements in responsiveness and usability. We're also going to take a look at some of the new features and how they work. Hopefully by the end you'll see how your users can use the new technology to interact with the ERP directly from their mobile devices. After that, I want to take you through deploying a dashboard yourself. So we'll take you through Epicor, deploying a dashboard to the mobile framework, and actually making it updatable so that your users can leverage the power of the Epicor business logic from their mobile devices without having to log into the client. And then at the end, I'll give you a way to get in touch with us should you have any questions or want to talk about your project specifically, or have ideas for future demos. So the mobile framework has been around for a while for those of you who may be on previous versions of Epicor, specifically E9 or early versions of E10. And since Epicor 9, you've actually had the ability to create dashboards and publish them to your mobile menu through the mobile framework. It was very functional, but depending on the device you were on and the data you were presenting, it may not have been the experience that your users were used to or were looking for. All that's changed with Mobile Access 2.0. The user experience has been totally overhauled to bring dashboards up to par with the modern mobile applications you're used to dealing with on a regular basis in your day-to-day lives. The interface is more responsive and has been redesigned to make use of all the touch and interactive capabilities you'd expect from a mobile device. The framework is written in HTML5, and as a result, it presents a much more responsive experience to the users. The homepage has been completely redesigned, so you can now save favorites and add shortcuts to the dashboards you use on a regular basis. Theming is now available, so you can change the look and feel of your mobile dashboards to fit more closely with your other business applications. And other functionality enhancements have been introduced as well. So things like enhancement to the grids and charts to improve the visibility to the real-time data. And the really good news is that the new Mobile Access 2.0 supports all dashboards that were created in earlier versions of E10. So enough talking, let's take a look at the product. So I'm going to open up Epicor Mobile Access 2.0 on my iPad emulator here. You can see I've just gone to a URL. That's how this is deployed to all my users. So anyone who can hit that URL has access. And then I'm just going to log in using my Epicor credentials. So you'll notice as it comes up, as I mentioned before, a much more modern interface. You'll notice the favorites that I have here that are, very responsive. They respond to touch from your device. And you'll notice if you're used to the old version, you do have different options across the top. So I mentioned theming is a new capability. So you'll notice the look and feel, the color scheme here. If I go into settings, I have the ability to change that. So if I, go down, change this, and then come back into my home screen, as easy as that, I have the ability to change the colors, the look and feel, to make it more in line with, my other business applications. I also have a menu tree on the side. This actually corresponds with a menu in Epicor Menu Maintenance, so you have control over the groupings, over the dashboards that get deployed here, and I'll take you through that in a little bit. But you can definitely set up groups. You can also add to favorites. So if I, wanted to add a dashboard to my favorites, for example, that wasn't out there, I could, click on the star. It's going to add the quick order to my favorite screen. So it's really easy to add things and customize your favorites. So just going into one of the dashboards to kind of show you some of the look and feel changes here. The first you'll notice is the grid form. So once again, much more modern look and feel to this interface as opposed to the the very tabular previous version of Mobile Access, and a couple of new features here as well. So the first, if I drill in here, I can always click on a detail panel and see detailed records of the row that I'm on in the grid. Um, I can also scroll through my records that way, so I can keep going through different orders. In this case, you'll see that the order is moving as I scroll through my navigation buttons. But I don't have to navigate that way. I can obviously use my grid as well. And a couple other new features that have been added. So I do have the ability to filter my columns. If I click on the filter button, it's going to bring up the ability to filter. So if I, instead of seeing all of my orders, wanted to limit these to Dalton orders, I can just type in the filter for that particular grid, and it's going to limit that column based on the filter that I'm looking at. I do have the ability to reset my dashboard back to you know, the standard setting that comes, you know, from the dashboard as I designed it, and kind of get rid of all the filters and sorting that I've done interacting with it. The other new feature that's really powerful is the new search. So this is a cross-column entire grid search. So it's not just going to search the column that I have highlighted or the data that I'm seeing here. It's going to search everything. So for the same concept of that filter we just did, if I type in Dalton, it's going to actually search every column and return any row that has a column that matches that search string. So in this case, I'm, you know, basically doing the same thing I did with the filter, just returning Dalton customers. But if I wanted instead to search for specific parts, for example, anything starting with DCD, it's actually going to change that search and search for any parts that have DCD. And as you can see, it's bringing back multiple customers. And you can also get as granular as an individual order. So if I wanted to just, you know, look at order 5013, it'll limit my data set that way as well. So I definitely have the ability to really interact with my grids at this point, you know, and search through and sort and filter the data that, you know, allows me to see, you know, what I'm actually looking for. And the charts are a little different too, as well. So there have been some improvements there. You'll notice that they're once again, very responsive. You know, the UI's changed so that the experience is a little more in line with what you're used to. But you can also interact with the grids themselves. So you can see that this brings up my bookings chart in a line graph, but I can actually real time change, you know, what that graph looks like. So, you know, instead of a line, maybe I want to see a column chart. If I apply that, it's actually going to change how that graph is presented to me as a user. And I can even interact with it. So if, for example, if I go to a pie chart and look at this data the same way, you know, maybe I want to eliminate orders from Addison for some reason. I can actually click that, and the graph is going to respond to my interacting with, you know, with the grid real time. So I have that ability to see, you know, all that data as I want to see it. So what I'm actually going to do now is close this down now that you've kind of got a feel for, you know, some of the new features and the look and feel of the framework, and actually take you through creating a dashboard and deploying it to this mobile framework, so you can see, you know, how you can use that and take advantage of it. So in order to create the updatable dashboard, I'm going to go into my Epicor client, and I'm going to actually create a updatable query that will allow me to then deploy that to the mobile framework. So all I'm going to do is go to Business Activity Query, open this up, and I've actually created one for this demo. Since we're trying to keep this within 15 minutes for our coffee breaks, I wanted to go ahead and have this one set up for you. But it's called order hold update, and what it is just bringing back a query that is pulling all orders that are not on hold and that are open orders. And I'm just using, I'm making it updatable, so I'm using the standard sales order business object with the update ext business object method to allow my users to place orders on hold. So all this dashboard really is a way for users from their mobile device to put orders on hold. You know, maybe as sales managers out on the road talking to a customer, and they realize that, oh gosh, you know, we have a sudden change in our business and we need to place a large order on hold. Or maybe somebody on the floor is inspecting inventory and finds that there's an issue with the raw material. You know, they can directly from their mobile device you know, place an order on hold. So that's the business activity query. That's all we've really set up there. So once I've set that up, all I have to do is go to my dashboard maintenance. And I'm going to create a new dashboard. So new dashboard, we'll call it order hold 16. I'll call it order hold 2016. So I'm just creating a new dashboard like you would for any other dashboard. The one difference here is that I'm going to use the target mobile device. So when I click that, what that does is it actually tells Epicor that I want to render this dashboard specifically for the mobile access. So at that point, what I can do is I can just add a new query. Once again, our order hold update query that we just looked at. I'm going to click on auto refresh on load. That's going to pull the data back into the dashboard automatically when I open it. And then I'm also going to change the property because I do want this to be updatable. I'm going to change this to be updatable, and I'm going to make my order hold flag be the prompt. So that's all I'm doing here is setting those flags. So my users can actually update it. Let's go ahead and add a chart as well, just so you can see kind of how easy it is to add a chart. I'm going to show my orders by customer on my chart, click OK, and that's going to be all I need to do to add a chart. At this point, I can just click on Deploy Dashboard like I would for any normal dashboard that I'm deploying. The main difference here is that I'm going to check the Generate Mobile application. That is going to tell Epicor that when I build this, I want to build this targeted for the mobile framework. And then I'm also going to click on Available for Mobile menu. What that's going to do is actually put this link on the menu maintenance for me automatically, so I don't have to go in and take care of that. Epicor will definitely handle that for you. If you want to, you can also go in and set up your groups like I mentioned earlier. If I click on deploy, it's going to go through some computations here, build my dashboard, tell me it's finished, click OK. And that's really all there is to it. So at this point, I can minimize out of Epicor, go back into my iPad emulator here, and let's log in again to my account. And what we'll see is there's now an order hold 2016 dashboard that's been created. It's been marked as a favorite. Once again, I can click on that to hide it or unhide it from my favorites menu. If I click on this dashboard, you'll see that it's automatically pulled back all my data, like I mentioned, by clicking that automatically refresh all. Here are all my orders that are open and not on hold. Here is the chart that is automatically created. So, the chart that I did in that dashboard is now part of this dashboard as well, so I can look at that. And it's updatable. So if I want to, actually place an order on hold, so this 5598, for $10,000, if I want to place this on hold, I can either check it from here, or I can drill into the detail like we looked at earlier. Click on the hold order. It's going to prompt me with a checkbox. I check on that. It's going to update my saved records using that standard business logic, the standard Epicor rule set. So any BPMs that I have are going to be applied. And that's really all it is. So now that I've updated that, if I click on refresh, you're going to see that that 5598 has fallen off of my dashboard. And I no longer have that order open. Just to kind of take it full circle, if I pull up this order in sales order entry back in the client, you can see that it's placed this order on hold for me. So that's a really quick overview of the Mobile Access 2.0. I just wanted to give you a look and feel. And then I also wanted to take you through and show you how you can build an updatable dashboard to allow your users to leverage this technology and leverage all the functionality on the back end of Epicor ERP. So once again, thank you guys for listening. If you have any questions or concerns, there's contact information at the end of this demonstration. If we can help you in any way, please let us know. And thank you guys very much for the time.